Welcome to I Heart Geek.
I'm looking at you.
Always looking at beautiful. And welcome to another episode of I Heart Geek, the absolutely chaos quarantine edition.
The technical issue edition.
Oh,
this is Blythe's favorite edition. It's the tech edition.
Yep.
With tech problems to go along with
Who
it.
has the slow internet running?
I'm just glad I'm not the guy who records the audio.
Yeah, you should all feel really bad for that guy. And I'm Dub. I'm the guy that records your audio. So yeah, let's do our introductions and get this over with, and then we'll kind of get started on what we're going to talk about. To my bottom left, we have Miss Geeky Page herself. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I used to do this on, Chaplin's photobombing the video portion of today's podcast.
Yeah, we're not putting this on YouTube, are we?
Oh yeah, we're definitely.
Who knows?
this on
Say
YouTube.
hi, Chaplin. You're famous.
Arf.
Well, he's a dog, so he doesn't talk.
He doesn't care.
So
Okay,
no,
and,
he doesn't care.
and to my top left, we have Mr. Blythe. How are you doing, sir?
Hey guys, it's Blythe, and I'm here dealing with all this nonsense.
There's a little bit of nonsense. And to our bottom left, a guy we haven't talked to in about a month, Mr. PB&Jason himself. How are you doing, bud?
PB is in the, we're all kind of in
We're all in the house.
We're all in our respective houses. I am good. I have missed you guys. I haven't been able to join several shows. I was really sick for one of them. But I'm here now, and I'm very happy to be here with y'all, with you humans.
Nice.
It's good to have you back, buddy.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
if I didn't already, I apologize for all the technical issues we're going to have on this show, but we really wanted to put out something for y'all. We're doing the one-on-one conversations, but it's not the same as us being together, so.
We're with a Brady Bunch right now. It's pretty cool.
Kind of looks like that. It's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can't see that.
We'll put
But,
pictures of it on the page so you guys can see what we look like as we try to do this.
oh. Yeah, because we have.
Especially Blythe and his magnificent hair.
Oh,
my
that is pretty
gosh.
fabulous. Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, the boys are sporting some amazingly wild beards right now.
No, mine's well kept. Mine is very well
Mine
kept.
is-
Mine's like mine always is, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So today we're talking post-apocalyptic stuff in pop culture. I don't know
Wait,
where
what?
we got the idea for that.
Just pulled it out of the air.
Just pulled it.
Yeah.
I said, hey, what
It's a
would not be
popular
relevant
genre.
at all?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not at all pertinent to all the goings on at present.
So yeah, and we're gonna get to all that eventually. But first, I just wanted to sit down and have a conversation with my friends because we haven't all talked in a while. So let me ask, how are you guys all handling the quarantine? Start with you, Courtney. What are you doing?
Well, I'm working from home, so I have that to keep me busy. And then just kind of hanging out in the backyard to get fresh air, and I'm playing some video games and reading some books and watching some TV.
Nice.
And annoying the heck out of my mother because I keep calling her on the phone because I'm bored.
Well, I saw
I don't
your
have
post
anybody to
about
talk
you
to, so I'm like,
you breaking
"Ma!"
in the moonshine, so I don't know if that was
Ooh.
I break out the moonshine the other day.
yeah. Are you
Did
still
Did you,
feeling that
did you
one?
make it into the bathtub?
Yeah, I think so. It's
Was
rough.
there was there banjo music going on while you buzzed out the moonshine? And
No.
oh, there
I think
should have been.
I think I was watching. Can't even remember what I was watching. I was watching Californication.
Oh, well, that'll make you want to drink.
Okay. Oh, someone's laundry's ready.
So it was a little Hank Moody.
Nice. So,
That's the laundry sound.
Yeah, what is that?
I have no
the
idea.
laundry sound. I don't think
I'm
it's
going to
mine,
leave
though.
all this in, too. This is what's going to be amazing. Blythe, what have you been
I'll do
doing?
laundry in
Right.
the quarantine.
That actually sounded like my washing machine. Maybe it was.
It
Probably was because mine doesn't play.
Mine doesn't do
Mine
that.
doesn't play a Disney song as it when it's done.
Mine just stops. It says, figure
Mine
it out
goes,
yourself.
hey, here is your laundry. It's all done. Now come and change it. Hey, here is your laundry. It's all done right now.
PB's been stuck inside way too
too long.
Just-
Yeah, it has.
Way too long.
So, Blythe, I'm going to make Jason wait because of that. Blythe, what are you doing with your quarantine time, sir?
Been working a lot. My company's letting us work from home, so been doing some work, been trying to get everything ready for the baby. We officially can say he will be here next month. So
That's so awesome.
Just trying to get the just trying to get the house ready for that and get everything kind of cleaned up and organized, because who knows when we're going to be back
Out of the house?
back to a normal lifestyle.
Hopefully soon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So, Jason, what have you been up to, sir?
All right. So we are all here. My wife is working from home, which is good. In the midst of all this, I feel very blessed. I'm here with my whole family, and we're all healthy, and we're all okay. You know, the income is still coming in, and the job, you know, her employment is secure, and we have savings and all that stuff that's good right now. So in that regard, I feel, you know, if this was going to happen, which it did, I'm in a good position for this situation. Yeah, it's boring as can be, but if all I can say about this is that I'm bored, then I'm actually doing all right. You know.
Yeah, that's a win for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Outstanding. Yeah, I've been busy. I've been doing security work for some empty buildings, hanging out outside all night, making sure people don't bust into them a couple nights a week. That's a little bit of something. And I got some work with a church. I'm not going to tell you which one, but if you know which one it is, you can watch the social media, and there's like definitely an iHeart Geek stamp on everything that I've put up there. Well, I'm putting them all online for all the service stuff. So, because people got to connect. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we can be a little part of that, but people have got to connect somehow or the other. So
Yeah.
So it'll drive you crazy if not.
Oh yeah. So what is kind of some of the hard stuff we're dealing with?
Not seeing my nieces or my family.
Yeah.
Because I don't live with my parents. I live alone, and I have not seen the nieces. I get videos. We do video time, so I do that. But like physically, have not seen the nieces in about a month, and it's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a concert for me on the video today, which was nice.
Aw.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's
perfect.
Did you have technical difficulties?
Yep. No, because we used Marco Polo.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yes, we were fancy.
I gotta say this. Can you imagine if this happened, say, 10, 15 years ago? Before
Imagine what people went
streaming,
through in
before anything? Oh my gosh.
Imagine what people went through in 1918 with the global pandemic that happened then.
Ugh. I don't think they stayed in their houses.
For real.
I think they just died.
Yeah, they did. Well, there was that too, but
whoa, that got dark.
That got dark fast.
Yeah,
I apologize. You know, we're in quarantine mode.
There's some interesting correspondence. Like if you look on the internet and stuff from 1918, that is eerily pertinent right now. It's interesting, like the conversations between people in letters and what's going on now. It's haunting a little bit, but interesting too. Yeah.
So let me ask. Let's
brushing his beard gloriously while we.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I groom it.
I think
it's beautiful.
Some of the stuff that we're dealing with on the kind of the downer end of it is just all the stuff that we've had to cancel for the upcoming baby, the shower and all of our birthing classes and all that kind of stuff. Which, I mean, we still have our health and we got each other and we're making the best of it. But we were really looking forward to seeing all of our friends and family at that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And online's nice. It's not the same, but it's something.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I try to look on the bright side of stuff. Yeah,
I mean, I'm also missing friends, missing family. Can't do my other podcast either right now because the logistics of that mean, you know, we don't have as much of the tech. We don't have a Robert in our setting right now for the video portion of things. And you know, just being able to feel like you can, you know, go do your thing when you want to. You know, I really am not actually going to dwell on the darker parts because there aren't really that many for me, to be honest. But I do know for other people, you know, that probably makes me feel worse than anything, is I know that there are people having a much harder time with this, and hopefully this little thing that we're doing here will help some people.
Hope so.
Feel better about what's going on.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my kid,
You know.
my kid's gonna miss his graduation, so that's a
Uh-huh.
bummer.
Oh,
That sucks.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
stinks.
you work hard for that 2-second little
Mm-hmm.
thing. You know, you work 12 years, 13
Yep.
years for it. It sucks.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
But
there's talk though. There's talk though that they might just delay, and they might come around end of the summer maybe, and
yeah,
actually put on a formal deal when
Yeah.
we can all go back.
probably won't mean as much, but it's something. You know, I'm not trying to crap
Yeah.
on anything because
Yeah. What they should do is what we're doing now, but with 2,000 people.
Yeah, oh, that'd be outstanding. There wouldn't be any lag on that at all.
Can you imagine 2,000 Brady Bunch squares? Yes, that would be.
Yep. There you
That
go.
would be impressive.
You can make one of those little picture graph things.
That would work. We could do that. Oh, so what else are you guys doing to pass time? I know we're doing the videos, so let's self-promote
Yep.
here a little bit. We have a ton of videos
Doing
that
the
have been
videos.
coming out. People seem to like them.
Yeah, we're trying to. Yeah, we've gotten a good amount of hits on them. We've been trying to put up one a day, which we've been pretty successful on. But yeah, just the short 2 to 3 minute videos of what we're doing. I've got one I want to do coming up next because we just started playing it. We just finished God of War 3 last night, and we're going to pick
love
up start the newest one tonight, which I'm
Nice.
super excited for because that game looks
I've
fantastic.
been playing it. It's fun.
Oh, it looks amazing.
We might have to
As
do a
soon
show
as I
together.
get, as soon as I fully through The Witcher, I may do one on that because that is a trip of a show, man.
I
Is it
watched.
good?
I've seen the whole thing. It's so good.
It's
we might have to
getting
pick it up.
it is good.
Yeah, the fight.
It moves strangely, like the way that for a pace and something.
And the timeline is not linear.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
And
it
Really?
jumps. Each scene jumps to a different time frame, and it takes like a couple episodes before you figure that out. 'Cause
and it
you're
all
like,
kind of comes
wait a
together.
minute, Geralt was right there a minute ago, but now this person's here. But wait, that person was dead. Yeah, so it's
Yeah, they don't do any.
it's not. There's no linear timeline.
They do no exposition on those time jumps either. So you're like, wait a minute, she just died, but now she's alive. And
Yeah.
You're
But
making my brain hurt.
It's a really,
It's good though.
but it is a very interesting show. So when I
The
conclude
fight
it-
choreography is amazing.
yeah, it is. So when I conclude it, and I think I'm on episode 8 right now. So when I conclude
That's
it,
it.
then I will do a video on that one.
Okay.
Cool.
So let me segue into kind of what the show's supposed to be about today. Important question with the whole post-apocalyptic thing. Does that make you feel better about what's going on? Does it make you feel worse? Does it scare you? What kind of feelings does it bring up in you now? There's a few of them that hit me real heavy, and we'll get to that on my list, but a lot of it's, I could see, okay, it could never get that bad, and then I start to see stuff, I'm like, oh man, this sucks. So, I don't know, how do you all feel about it? Is this still an escape for you?
It's a lot more boring than you think it would be.
Yeah, like actual that stuff,
Yeah, like if
dystopian stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like you
It
watch all
doesn't-
these post-apocalyptic movies and read these books and comic books and stuff, and it's all desolate wastelands and huge vehicles or zombie slaying and things like that. It's just
Interesting
sitting on the couch
outfits.
trying to find the next Netflix show to watch.
Right.
Right. Yeah, we're not wearing those cool Road Warrior feathers, like we should.
I'm almost there.
No, but for me, it doesn't feel post-apocalyptic at all because you still walk outside; it still looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The couple times I have gotten in the car for a few various things, there's still traffic. I still see people walking. I myself have gone, walking in the neighborhood and stuff like that. So, post-apocalyptic isn't the right word. Surreal and weird is really how I felt about this whole thing. Because we're all inside from this thing that we know is out there and we know is real and we know is serious, but it's also, invisible, and
Yeah.
some people aren't taking this as seriously as they should, and
And some are taking it too seriously,
weird.
so I don't know. I'm not.
some might be taking it too seriously.
And I'm
yeah.
not judging anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this one thing. it's very real what's going on, but don't let fear overtake your life. We're not at Mad Max.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got 60 cases of toilet paper sitting in your garage
You're a
right
jerk.
now, and you're
a butthole.
if you just feel like you need that, then I think you're taking it a little bit too extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, as Courtney says, you're a butthole. You're a clean butthole.
You're in trouble.
But you're a butthole.
I
You're
mean
nice.
business.
Maintained. Sorry, never mind.
Well, maybe you
If I
need the
call you
60
that,
rolls
I
then, I
mean
guess.
business.
We're gross. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when
It's
we're
always poop jokes
Even
with
more
you
so
guys.
now.
those never go
We
away.
can't,
Person, not in
we can't
person,
even
it's
do
always
like
poop
a
jokes.
single show, without doing some sort of poop joke. Usually it's dubbed saying metric poop ton.
Metric poop ton.
Someone's about to knock on my
it's
door,
real.
guys.
Okay, so with the post-apocalyptic genre, what do you like to see as far as the medium? Like, they have the desolate world. They have zombies. We have spacecraft. We have like a million different ways to go. What's your favorite?
Toilet paper. Like when I see apocalyptic movies where there's lots of toilet paper readily available.
I haven't seen that
in
one.
the frame. I'm totally aboard.
They're full of crap at that point. Do your research, guys.
Right.
Okay, for real. Go ahead, Courtney. No, let's ladies and dogs first.
I was gonna say that. First off, I don't like zombies, so yuck.
Me neither.
But next thing is like what I do like is when like they explore something we haven't seen before. There's so many of them where there's zombies and is a desolate wasteland. I like it like with things where, I mean, one is on my top 5, but it's like Escape from New York. And Waterworld, which is a terrible movie, but
horrible.
It was the first time there was an apocalyptic movie that didn't have a desolate wasteland. It was the exact opposite of what would happen.
It was a desolate wetland.
Well, yeah, it was like the polar ice caps melt, and here you go. This is like, and that's the first time we'd seen something like that. I wish the movie had been better, but
yeah, but his boat was cool, man. I remember
right, like
from
the
that
concept
movie,
was
his boat was awesome.
Well, the fact that they
Yeah,
had
so, I mean, I like
to
it when
put
they
him
do
drinking
something like that.
his own pee. That was an important scene
Right,
they had
and
to
it's
throw in.
not.
I'm like,
Oh,
come on,
God.
guys.
Blech.
Do you think that is a movie that they could successfully reboot in a
Yes,
world where
I think
reboots
so.
are not
I don't
as
think so.
grand as people like them to be?
I think
Absolutely
that's been so
they could.
poisoned. I feel
think
like
you
it
could
has
do.
been.
I don't know if you necessarily wanted to reboot Waterworld, or if you could just do another post-apocalyptic film in a world where the polar ice caps have melted and
In a
the world is
world.
flooded.
Where there's no toilet paper.
I agree. Cool boats.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking your own pee. I'm on board. Let's do it.
Mad Max
Maybe
on
that's
water.
what
Let's do it, man.
Maybe that's what the Mad Max sequel will be.
That'd be cool. But the whole point of Mad Max is there is no water.
But maybe there's a bunch
Sort
of
of
water
like
now.
Tank Girl. I'm just saying. Same.
Maybe they tried
concept.
to create.
I
Maybe
love
they tried to
Tank
create
Girl.
a
I
bunch of
can't believe I
water
didn't
and
think
took
of
it
that
too
one.
far.
Road Warrior 4. Your feathers are wet. I like it. I'm on board.
So is there any of the other genres you guys particularly like or dislike? Robert?
I like the lonely hero apocalyptic thing. I like that a
I
lot.
Am Legend.
Yeah, that sort of thing where you start with the one guy and then he's doing his thing, and then the other people either haphazardly join in or join in by chance or by
I have to.
purpose or have to. Yeah, and you build eventually a team of people that, because you really tend to care about those people, because you feel, oh my gosh, he or she is all alone, and now they finally have companionship, and then they're heading toward the great evil of whatever. I love stuff like that. I can eat that up.
A family of necessity.
Yes, that's my favorite for
Nice.
sure.
Any more before we move on? There you
I'm
go.
a fan of the zombie. Yeah, I'm the fan of the zombie genre. If it's done right. I know the Walking Dead beat it over the head, and there's just World War Z, the movie, is not good. I'll probably get some gripes on that because people seem to really love that movie. But
I
the
don't
book is
get
so
how
much
anybody
better.
liked that movie. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that just love that movie, and I was like, you should read the book because the book takes it way beyond it.
The book has nothing
So
to do
much
with
better.
the movie. And written by
Yeah,
Stephen
they
King's
take
son.
Yeah.
Right. Zombies make me
They
too
take
sad.
like some little things from the book, like character names and stuff like that, but really the plot has nothing to do with what's in the book.
Yeah.
And then I really liked, kind of bounce off of what Courtney said with them kind of taking a different spin on things, like something we hadn't really seen before. Quiet Place. I really love the Quiet Place.
That's interesting.
That was a good one. Good call.
Yeah, and that was something that I don't think we really had seen anything before, and you really don't know what it is at this point. Was it aliens? Are they just like some sort of monster? Like, it's just something that kind of showed up.
Interesting take.
Oh
Yeah.
And you know what?
What?
Not the best movie, but Reign of Fire. Post-apocalyptic world that was created by dragons.
That could have been
good. Is that the one
good.
with dragons in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That could have been so
Waterworld,
good.
it could have been good.
It should have been
I
good.
thought it was
Could have been good.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
I'll agree to disagree with you. I want that. That was one of those movies. I
like it too, Jason.
I love dragons, and so I was really looking forward to it, and then I was kind of let down, to say the least. Me?
I had no idea.
No.
You like dragons. What are you talking about?
They kind of used it in MacGuffin, but other than that, it was pretty good, I thought.
Fair enough. Okay, well, let's move on to our main event.
Now it's time for the main event.
Okay, for our main event, we are doing our top 5 favorite post-apocalyptic stories, all universes or game. And before we start this, actually, I wanted to apologize for not having our listener feedback this week, because we had a little snafu as far as our scheduling goes, so we didn't have time to put it up. But next time we do this, if I haven't ripped all my beard hair out, we will have a listener feedback for y'all. So thank y'all for hanging in. Okay, so my number 5 is going to be a mini-series they did from Torchwood, which was a derivative of Doctor Who. It was called Miracle Day. Now, this was entirely different because this was an apocalypse that said, okay, as of this moment, no one can die for anything. It's impossible to die. You'll still have diseases, you'll still hurt, but you'll die. Or that you can't die. So, I mean, people are just like falling apart and they're still alive. And it's dark, but it's a really interesting look at, and well, everyone's not dead, everyone's alive. It's a very innovative take on it. Did anybody else see this?
Dude, Torchwood is like seriously, they go to dark levels that are
Oh yeah.
just like disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go the places that Who doesn't go.
Well, that's why they needed a Torchwood.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, you would enjoy it actually.
Captain Jack
you probably would, Blaze.
is in charge of Torchwood.
It's more of an Americanized Doctor Who. To be fair.
Interesting.
And he's
not really enjoy it.
He's a much less cuddly Captain Jack than you're used to on Doctor Who.
At points, yeah. Okay, so Courtney, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is The Leftovers, but the book, not the TV show. The book by Tom Peralta, which started the whole thing. And it is basically, it's like, I guess you could say it's kind of like Endgame, Infinity War's Endgame, without superheroes and without Thanos and without any of the fun stuff. Because it's essentially what happens is, it's what happened after the rapture, which people know is it's when God takes the worthy up to heaven. But they think it's what happened after the rapture. So basically you wake up one morning and 50% of the world is gone. And you don't know why. And there's no rhyme or reason to who was taken. The book is so intense that it just... I read some, put it down. Read some, put it down. Read some, put it down. It's rough, but it's a really good read if you want to go into that dark place.
Awesome.
I'm watching Bly's braid his beard.
I know.
That's my new favorite post-apocalyptic movie or entertainment.
Yes, Bly's
braiding his beard.
It's crazy ginger beard.
So speaking of Bly's, what's
that actually
yours,
sounds
sir?
really good. Courtney.
Yeah, the book is amazing. There was a TV show that they did on HBO, but it kind of veers off of the book. But I lent my copy to somebody. If they didn't give it back, I won't lend it to you. But if I have it in there, I'll give it to you next time.
Maybe it disappeared without explanation.
It probably did.
Dum, 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 dum.
No, I know. I lent it to my best friend, but I'm not sure she gave it back. So.
So, Blythe, what's your number 5, sir?
My number 5, and I know you guys already said you don't like this, but The Walking Dead. I think
I liked it for a while.
That's what I was going to say. When that show first came out, it was amazing. It was amazing. That first season, there's not a lot of episodes. It's something that I don't think we saw on TV before that. So some of the first scenes in that where they just the part with the horse and things like that, it was intense, and it was the first time apocalypse had been done on TV like that, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it all the way up into the seasons with Negan, and then after that I just fell off, and I haven't kept up to current.
That was the first comic book series, as I was tried to read, that I had to stop. I actually was so disturbed by that comic, that I absolutely had to put it down. And my wife watched a lot of the show, so by proxy, I've seen a number of episodes. The show was, honest to God, tame compared to the comics. Mm-hmm. The comics are just brutal.
What happened with Andrea? I mean, they couldn't put that on TV. With the governor, they could not put that on TV.
No.
Ever. And they shouldn't.
No.
They shouldn't have written it, to be honest, because it was pretty bad.
It was that bit with the torture of the governor in the comics that made me put it down. I just couldn't handle it. It was no, this is too much.
Yeah. I as far as the show goes, I stopped after the Glenn killing, 2 episodes, because it was just, I was bored after that. I'm like, I'm done. It just wasn't entertaining to me anymore. And I thought it was killing for the sake of killing at that moment. And I'm like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jason, what's your number 5, sir?
Yeah, completely. All right, my number 5 would be an oldie classic goodie. That would be the Terminator, which I thought, now granted, it's not all post-apocalyptic, but that is a theme, obviously, of the whole John Connor, the whole story, especially in the first movie, him coming back from after the apocalypse to meet Sarah Connor, and that whole how that story began. I remember thinking, especially the scenes when Reese was, fighting the Terminators in his world. I remember being really struck by that apocalyptic scene as being like, wow, the robots took over and the robots destroyed everything, and it was brutal, but very, very powerful, but well done too.
Very good.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good prevents the post-apocalyptic movie.
Yeah,
and I know.
Mm-hmm.
And in Terminator 2, how they continue that idea was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good take, especially when you see that road at the end. I thought that was the most hopeful and most horrifying thing at the same time. You know what I'm talking about? That last speech she gave.
True.
I thought that
Very
was
true.
That was brilliant. Okay, so let's go on to number 4.
Yes.
And that is my favorite comic book series of all time, which is Blackest Night, which was all the bad guys and good guys come back from the dead and they're zombies. But it's it's on a galactic level, so it's fantastic. I've talked about it a million times, so if you haven't heard from it by now, read it. This is a good time to read this comic book. It's, I think, 10 graphic novels worth, but you can get them on Comixology, or I'm not going to say to pirate things, but if you did, it wouldn't be a bad idea, because no one's making any money off it anymore.
It's old. It's old enough to be okay.
It's 12 years old. Come on.
Dub,
yes, sir.
Dub made me read that, and it was very good. I'm saying you forced me, you held me at knife point.
No, it was at ring point.
You will read. That's right, ring point. You will read this series completely, and all of these side books. You will do it. And I said, yeah, okay, I will. And I did, and it was it was good. It was a well done. even for zombies, which I hate, I actually liked it in that story a lot.
Just to jump off before we move on to the next one, Dub, that reminded me, because I didn't even think to put it on my list, Marvel Zombies. That's a great run, too.
Yeah, that is a great run.
Of that same kind of thing where post-apocalyptic heroes, all of them are zombies. If you that, I definitely recommend it. That's one of my favorite stories from Marvel.
Very good. Okay, so
Zombies suck.
Yeah, you know what? It depends on how they're done. So, Courtney, what is your number 4?
Yeah, I suppose.
Fallout.
The
I like
video
Fallout,
games?
the Fallout video games. I'm excited the new one's coming out. Yeah, the new one's coming out, Fallout 76.
That came out a while ago.
For those of you who... No, it's supposed to come out it's going to be on PC in like 2 days, I think, is when it's supposed to come out. But it's, for those of you that don't know, it's this post-apocalyptic, atom punk, retro-futuristic video game where you can blast things and you have to survive the wasteland, and it's got this 1940s, 50s aesthetic, but still modern, and you can kill stuff.
It's weird how they do it.
Apocalyptic noir.
Yeah.
Apocalypse noir. Of course you like that.
Not
That's
this. This one isn't. It's not noir.
It's 50s.
It's atom punk. So it's very diesel and atom punk. Yeah. So it's more atom punk and retro futuristic than it is noir.
Okay.
So how many genres can you put into that?
I mean, the music is that kind of stuff, but like the actual world they live in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I love punk derivation of stuff. So this is cool.
Nice.
And you can kill things.
Well, yeah.
A lot of things, actually.
Yeah.
Blythe, what do you got, sir?
Yeah, you can. Like lots of stuff.
My number 4 is World War Z, the book, not the movie, kind of like we talked about
the
before.
Max Brooks?
For anyone who hasn't... Yeah, the Max Brooks book. For anyone who hasn't read it before, it's basically post-apocalyptic. Like, they've already lived through it, and it's a guy building a guide for the military so that if it ever happens again, they have kind of a plan. And he goes through and he collects all these stories from different people all over the world.
Yeah.
And then that's what that book is it's all the stories that affected all these different points of the world, and it's really, really good. If you're into audiobooks, the audiobook is amazing because they got like actual actors to do the voice acting. Like I think Mark Hamill does one of the voices. Yeah, there's a lot of like actual actors that did the voice work for the audiobook, and it's great. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Sweet.
Jason?
All right. My number 4 is both the original and the reimagined Battlestar Galactica, which takes the post-apocalyptic thing of the destroyed world, takes what's left of the world, and crams them into a claustrophobic, metal floating space situation. And it's interesting how in the newer version of that, they really kind of expanded on the whole claustrophobic feel of this thing, this 1 kilometer long hunk of metal floating through space is now your entire world and the ships that are following. As a grown-up watching the reimagined Battlestar Galactica, I really got kind of creeped out by that a little bit, but also was impressed by how they added that element to it. Because, if you think about that, your entire culture, everything about your world and your culture is now floating through space on this, 1 kilometer long hunk of metal that's being chased by this incredibly powerful, evil force of robots that want you dead. So, yeah. Battlestar Galactica.
Outstanding. That's been on my list to watch for years, and I still haven't gotten around to it. I know people say I would love it, but
I've never seen the new one. I only ever watched the old ones.
The new one is really good. I mean, they expand on ideas from the old one, and take it into places that the old one never went to. Obviously, it went several seasons longer.
Yeah.
But it's really good. And Kaj and I have a little argument about this. Kaj doesn't like how it ended. I did, but that's okay. I love Kaj anyway.
I actually have read the novelization of the original series too.
Oh, nice.
A billion years ago.
Okay, my number 3 is Twilight Zone, a particular episode with the Burgess Meredith. Edit what?
Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
I thought you had something to tell me. You were like, okay, let me start that over again then.
Yep.
Okay. So my number 3 is a Twilight Zone episode with Burgess Meredith, and it's a really cool dichotomy because the beginning of the episode is it's a normal world, then he falls asleep in a bunker, and the A-bomb drops, and then he gets to live the rest of his life in the post-apocalyptic world where he's happy because he has all his books, and then, as a twist would have it, his glasses break. Wah.
Oh, that's my favorite episode.
I love that episode.
There was time. There was time.
But that's kind of how you feel during this too.
Didn't they do a parody of it?
There's been a million parodies of that one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I think The Simpsons. I actually think The
I was
Simpsons
going to
did
say
a parody of it.
Yeah, I was going to say
because it was the
Simpsons
one
parodied
brain
everything.
cell that Homer had left.
Oh yeah.
Or it was Family Guy. I don't know. It was like somebody stupid had one brain cell left, and then the brain cell's glasses broke.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't The
Can't remember which one.
Simpsons, even if it wasn't The Simpsons, it was The Simpsons because they parody everything.
Everything.
Yeah, I'm sure. Trying to think of what it was.
I think it was Family Guy.
Sorry.
I think it
it's
was.
like
I couldn't
Peter's
think of
brain
it.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a Peter's last brain cell or
Well,
something.
that
Yeah.
seems like a joke that McFarlane would definitely have to make.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because I'm remembering McFarlane's name doing "There Was Time."
So, Courtney, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Logan's Run, and I might be
so
the only
good.
person in the world that likes the movie. See, I love the movie.
I love the movie.
No,
It's
you're
terrible. I love
definitely
the movie.
not. You're definitely not the only person. That was the first movie I ever saw that left a profound, powerful effect on me. So yes, go on.
I love that movie, and it's where basically it's the apocalypse has happened, and it's like 300, 400 years after, and it's everybody lives in this bubble, but basically life ends at 30.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was about ready to turn 30, my best friend would follow me around and go, "You're going to Sanctuary. Have you checked your life clock?" I mean, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, everybody goes to be renewed, but really like you're just killed. And then Logan 5 gets out. I mean, and then he discovers what's really going on. And I know the book. I think in the book, life ends at 21.
Oh, that's worse.
But yeah, and they were going to do an updated version of the movie, but it just never got off the ground. But I love it. I think Michael York.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh,
I would have put that on my countdown, but I saw you had it, so I was.
I love me some Logan's
kind
Run.
about that one.
Love me some Logan's Run.
In my one and only novel that I've written, Light Force, there is something I call Carousel that is directly inspired by Carousel from the movie. Totally.
Yeah.
Are you too young to
When you
remember
get
that
ready
one,
to
Blythe?
turn 30.
Yeah, I got no idea what you're talking about.
I'm going to make you watch it, dude. You're going to love it.
That sounds like the Justin Timberlake movie where they had the times on their arms.
Kinda.
That's probably the better version
No.
I'm talking about.
No.
No, I don't. That's not even remotely the same thing.
No.
Yeah,
Because they could buy in
Oh, wait,
time.
no. They could buy time. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, you have, what it is you have this jewel in your hand, and it changes colors the older you get in the palm of your hand. And it changes colors, and when you hit your renewal day, which is basically your 30th birthday, it starts to blink, and you have to go to Carousel. And everybody in the world, in the city, has been led to believe that if you go on Carousel, you're renewed, so you're basically reborn, but you're not. They just kill you.
Just fry you.
So, like, what's his face? Who's the Transformers guy? Michael Bay. Michael Bay's The Island?
Never saw
Like
it.
that?
Didn't see it. Didn't want to.
there's some similarities in theme, but
Sort
not
of,
not
maybe?
exactly.
All right.
So
yeah, I mean, I'll
one of
check.
the Logan's Run story. My parents, their best friends are the Frazie's, and the Frazee family have done practical special effects in Hollywood for 3 going on 4 generations now. And Logan's Run was one of the films that the Frazie's were
Love
behind
it.
for practical special effects.
Nice.
It's very 70s, Blaze, because it's very 70s. So you may not dig it because I know how you feel about that data stuff, but you probably should watch it just because it's a sci-fi classic.
It's awesome.
Maybe I'll check it out in between God of War.
There you go.
So what is your number 3 there, Mr. Blythe?
My number 3 is The Matrix.
Very good.
I think that
what we're
that
in
was
right
one
now?
of those.
Right.
Yep, exactly. That one is kind of cool because you don't get a feel for the post-apocalypticness of it until really the second one. Like it's mentioned in the first one, and they kind of show you this stuff, but they don't really dive into it until the later movies. But just amazing series in general,
Very
in
good.
my opinion.
Yep.
I'm not going to
Agreed.
disagree. That groundbreaking in every possible way we could say
Oh
visually.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really just
The
changed
special
the face
effects
of how movies were done.
Yeah. And it's still they're
Yeah.
still going on
I'm
that
trying
same thing.
to free your mind. Yes, I love The Matrix. Great.
Didn't they say that
Yeah,
at
it's
Woodstock?
so good.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. The other Matrix, Woodstock. Yeah, my number three is a book by Stephen King that I would not recommend that you read right now. Don't read this book right now. Read this book when all this is over, because then you can look back and go, "Oh, that sucked, but it wasn't this bad," and that would be The Stand, which is the template for the post-apocalyptic. What would happen if a virus, got the world population, and then all of the very cool supernatural stuff and story that happens after that. But it really is. I have one Stephen King story that I would put above that one, which is actually my number one. But that is my second favorite work by Stephen King. I think that it's an amazing story. But again, I would not recommend anyone who's never read it or is unfamiliar with it. It's not to be read right now. Read it later when this is done.
It's a miniseries, right? Didn't they do a TV miniseries?
We don't talk about the TV miniseries because it was absolutely awful. They are talking about redoing it, and maybe they'll do a good job. But the book is worthy of praise. The TV miniseries is worthy of torching, basically.
Fair enough. Okay, my number 2, after being changed several times, I thought outside the box on this one, and I'm going to say the Wrestling Federation called ECW. I know that's kind of weird, like what? That's wrestling. But when you went and watched the regular wrestling of the time, it's, bright lights and high production value, and then you watch the ECW and it's guys hitting each other with bats and barbed wire and setting each other on fire, and just an amazing spectacle, but it had that very post-apocalyptic feel, if that makes sense to anybody. Some of my favorite wrestling comes from that, but it feels like it's post-apocalyptic to me, especially when you saw everything else that was going on at the time. So, yeah, ECW way outside of the box. Courtney?
My number 2 is Escape from New York.
Can I piggyback?
John Carpenter.
I want to piggyback and do Escape from LA as well, which I thought was just as good.
Yeah, I was going to add that in too.
Okay.
So it's kind of like both of them, but New York is the number one because it's the better of the two. But I enjoyed LA as well. It's your John Carpenter Snake Plissken.
Plissken.
Well, and what I really liked about Escape from LA is there's that computer program they call the Sword of Damocles that it shuts everything down.
Yep.
Everything. Like no electricity. It basically plunges the world back into the Dark Ages. So you've got this post-apocalyptic world and that's now even pushed farther into trying to rebuild itself. So plus Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken's pretty awesome.
He did amazing in that role. I've honestly career defining. I think even more so than Overboard.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes, I am in. What about you, Mr. Blythe?
My number 2 is Wall-E. I think that's a solid movie on its own, but it definitely takes place during a post-apocalyptic. But I guess so. Here, yeah,
it is.
This one's hard. It is right when we desolate our world with heaps and heaps of garbage to the point where nothing can happen. We've created an apocalypse, correct?
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Wall-E's great, man. Great movie.
Yeah, solid movie. I love when that movie came out, everyone was talking about how like the first 30, 45 minutes had zero dialogue at all.
It didn't need it.
And it just no, it didn't. It was fantastic. Just well done from start to finish.
Nice.
One thing I love about that movie is that it chose to end on probably one of the happiest, most hopeful notes that any movie can. And I know some people are like, I don't like happy endings, blah, blah, but that one had the most beautiful, beautiful ending. That movie is just perfect all the way around. The fact that I remember, it reminds me of, oh gosh, I'm having a mind blank. The director, Avatar, Terminator, Cameron.
Cameron
said, the reason that my aliens, my Na'vi in Avatar had to look so human and beautiful is because no one would believe that there could be genuine love between things that didn't look human or beautiful. And then look at Wall-E and Eva and tell me in that space scene when they're flying around that wasn't so beautiful and romantic and absolute convincing love.
Good call.
So
I agree, 100%.
So stick it, Cameron.
So what's your number 2, Jason?
My number 2 would be the three novel series by Suzanne Collins that everybody knows about, at least from the film, and a lot of people know about from the much superior books. That would be The Hunger Games.
That was on everybody's list before this, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Not mine.
That's okay. Classified as a young adult story that cuts no corners. It is absolutely brutally and beautifully presented. An absolute masterpiece. And I have a little extra intensity when it comes to that because I was reading Mockingjay, the last book, like moments before my twin sons were born.
Oh, geez.
And my wife was on bed rest, and there was a little bit of high risk with the pregnancy, and all that intensity was going on. And here I am reading Mockingjay. But yeah, that is. She's one of those authors that honestly, I know she's actually preparing to do the prequels to that, the books, which is exciting.
From Snow's point of view.
Right, from The Rise of Snow, exactly.
I'm good. No.
But if she never wrote anything again, that'd be okay because it's masterful, absolutely masterful.
Fair enough. No, it's a great story all the way
Blythe,
around.
if you haven't read this, Blythe, you are missing out, buddy. It's a great book. Great book series.
Oh no, I've read through all of them. I am not the biggest fan of some of the second one and the third one, just because I feel like it got really repetitive. Like
it's the same story.
Starts out with them. Yeah, exactly. It just
and that you don't like strong female characters
going into the arena, and then they do the thing. Oh, don't even get me started. You didn't even like your one character's solo movie.
Oh, so bad. So bad.
But
so
but
bad.
I think when I read the first one, I was 100% in, and I blew through this. And maybe it's because I blew through the second and then third one so quickly that I just was like, this feels like the same story. But I do enjoy the movies, and I do enjoy that first book really well. So yeah, I've definitely diving into that universe.
Outstanding.
Nice.
Okay, so number 1 on me, and that is going to be the TV show that should have lasted at least one more season, The Last Man on Earth. He was Well, title was misleading because there was other people on Earth, but it was very, very, very limited. I think there's 20 people left on Earth that they actually found. Just a fantastic.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if you think about it, that's not as cool a title. 20 people left on Earth.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
But it was such a fantastic concept. Everything's still standing. He can go to any store he wants and do whatever he wants. He was staying in the White House for a while because he was bored. He had nothing better to do. No one was there, so he stayed in the White House. He had the Mona Lisa hanging on his wall just because he could do whatever he wanted. And there's no value to anything. And I think it was such a cool, solid, well done show. I think everyone should probably rewatch that one now because I think it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting take on it all. Courtney, what is your number one?
My number one is Mad Max.
Which one?
In general, but I love Fury Road with Thunderdome coming in a close second as my favorite Mad Max.
I like the Mad Max when he wore the skirt and said "Freedom." Wrong one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a bad joke.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that movie. I do not like that movie.
Oh,
but yeah, no,
we're gonna fight later.
I like Fury Road. One, just because it's such a good movie. Like the music is good, the practical effects are phenomenal.
I love that everything is practical effects in that.
Right, like 80% of it is practical effects, which is just phenomenal if you think about it in this day and age. The storyline is good. I personally do like a strong female lead.
Unlike
so
Blythe.
I like me some Imperator. You're right. I like my Imperator Furiosa. And then, I mean, with Thunderdome, how do you not love two men enter, one man leave?
Well, we don't need
Tina
another
Turner
hero, though. So I mean,
right, like you get Tina Turner singing the theme song in Chainmail with the character's name of Anti-Entity.
But
life is good.
Didn't you want to see her jump into Thunderdome with Ike?
I wanted to see her kick some booty, but I
want to see her fight Ike. It'd
because
be
she's
amazing.
badass without it.
Okay.
She would win because she's awesome.
Outstanding.
I haven't seen Fury Road yet.
It's good.
So good.
It's actually worth your time.
It's probably the best Mad Max in the series.
I think what's not kept me away, but why I haven't been super excited is, I mean, I don't have a problem with Tom Hardy, but I can't really see Mad Max as anybody but Mel Gibson. So it's a little hard.
He takes it, steals it.
He does it well.
It's not Mel Gibson's anymore.
Yeah.
See, that's from a part I don't like about it. I'm not a fan of Tom Hardy in that role.
I thought he did a good job.
Much.
That's the thing. He doesn't do anything.
It's really the Furiosa
But that was from the written. That's how they wrote it too, and they needed to because honestly, if you don't have Mel Gibson doing that, you can't have him playing the part that he was.
No, you had to play it differently.
Yeah, he did, and they wrote it differently for him.
And the graphic novel version of Fury Road is really good too.
Ooh.
And it goes into much more backstory of what's going on.
Nice.
Good. With the baby factories, yes. Ugh, creepy. Blythe, what's your number one, sir?
My number one, and this is because you're back, Jason, and it is Aladdin. There is a
conspiracy theory.
There is a theory
that
Aladdin takes place in a post-apocalyptic world because when the genie comes, he says that it's been 10,000 years, and he's referencing
Disneyland
pop culture things at the time. So it would have had to have been 10,000 years in the future.
Gosh, you are so lucky we are doing this virtually because I would reach across the table right now with my gripping claw around your neck and I would start choking your life out of you.
It makes sense. That makes sense.
All there.
I'm actually glad we're not doing
sense.
this. I'm glad we're not doing this live then because I usually sit across from you at the table.
Well,
so if you're going to reach across the table, you'd get me.
I meant to my right. I should say that. To my right. I will amend my direction, and I meant to my right. And so, yeah.
I don't want
Thanks, Blythe. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Wow.
That one was
Appreciate
for
that.
you, Jason.
Oh.
Aladdin, post-apocalyptic,
Nice.
confirmed.
I'm in.
Nice. It's good to know that during this quarantine, crack smoking is still going on.
Oh.
Profoundly
We gotta
as
do some
always.
stuff.
Trust me,
Hey,
I'm working
I don't
security
think
at
he
night.
came
There's
up
plenty of
with it.
people
He
still
just,
smoking
you know,
crack.
subscribes to it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you explained it because when you put it on there, I'm like, what are you talking about, Willis?
Well, I
The
saw
evidence
for
is there.
I saw
Go
for
back.
Jason. Yeah.
Go back and watch it with the mindset that it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, and it makes sense.
10,000
Iago is a
years.
mutant. He's a mutant bird. There's like giant fish that are mutant fish in it. There's a car where there shouldn't be any kind of cars. He references
Did you
Arnold
use the car?
Schwarzenegger and Rodney Dangerfield. Just, it's all there.
And Beauty and the Beast.
all
10,000
there,
years
Jason.
in a cave of wonders. We'll give
What-
you such a
Wow.
crick in the neck.
What's your number one, Jason?
It's a lad.
Thank you for joining us on iHeart. No,
Oh, he bypassed his number one.
right.
Done.
Keep on. Okay. So my number one mentioned my favorite story by Stephen King, his magnum opus, as it were. Todd Harvey will appreciate this because I think he feels the same way, and that would be the Dark Tower series by Stephen King, which features the gunslinger Roland Deschain, the Man in Black, who ends up being a longtime used
Johnny
King
Cash?
villain. Yeah, exactly, Johnny Cash.
No, Matthew
He
McConaughey.
walks the line, yeah, no.
Shut your mouth, Blythe.
No, Randall Flagg, Walter Odin, all sorts of names. It's a very, very huge scale fantasy that we will not talk about the Idris Elba film, even though Idris Elba is fantastic and
Amazing.
I like him. And that film was the absolute cliff notes of what that story actually is. 7 books, The Dark Tower. You have time right now to read that one, and that one I would recommend. I recommend that one. It is awesome. If you love Stephen King, it's Stephen King at his best. Absolutely.
Very good. Okay, and that's a show, kids. Yeah, check out everything. Listen to the music at the end, and you'll get all our social medias. Stay in contact. Wow, I don't know what they're doing over there.
Direct contact.
No. Stay in virtual contact with everybody.
Me joking Blythe.
Social distance.
But stay safe out there. There's at least one of our
wash
listeners.
your hands.
Yeah, there's at least one of our listeners that caught it, and she's recovering, so that's good. But let's stay safe. And we love y'all. And until next time, I'm Dub.
I'm Miss Geeky Page.
I'm Blythe.
I am PB&Jason.
Keep on geeking on.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the iHeart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.